Today we are meal prepping these creamy and cheesy macaroni and topping them with spicy chicken thighs. This meal is packed with 53 grams of protein, tastes incredibly delicious and is also very easy to make. First thing first, prepare a big bowl and add in 900 grams or 2 pounds of skinless, boneless chicken thighs. Now, chicken thighs have a little bit of a bad reputation for being high in calories compared to breast. However, that's not necessarily true if you remove the skin. This is where the majority of the fat and thus calories is stored, and after removing it, the macros are worse than breast, yes. However, the difference is only about 30 calories per 100 grams of meat, but it has a major advantage over breast, especially in these kinds of recipes, and I'm going to show what I mean in just a second. First, add 14 grams of olive oil to the bowl and give the meat a good mix so everything has a slight oil film where the seasonings can stick to. That we are going to add next. Add 2 strong pinches of salt, 2 teaspoons or 6 grams of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons or 6 grams of cayenne pepper, 2 teaspoons or 6 grams of smoked paprika. Regular paprika works just as fine, and finally about 20 cranks of freshly cracked black pepper before giving everything once again a good stir until the meat turns into this fire red color. So you could now take out the air fryer and air fry the meat in batches at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 F for about 15 minutes each. However, what is much easier to do is just to take out a baking sheet, lay all thighs on top and spread them out, and now pop them into a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 F for 15 to 18 minutes. And this is the big advantage over breast. You pretty much cannot overcook chicken thighs. They will still be juicy even if you leave them in the oven for a couple more minutes longer, where with chicken breast you need to be more careful because they go from juicy to dry in a matter of minutes. For this video they were in the oven for 17 minutes. So take the baking sheet out the oven, add the meat onto a cutting board and now slice them once through the middle lengthways and then again into small bite-sized chunks. Once you've cut all the meat, you can add it back into the sheet pan where you can mix the pieces with all of the juices that are still left there. That is a ton of flavor. Okay, next up is the cheese sauce, and this starts with a glass on a scale where we will add 250 grams of milk. If you can find it, use a low-fat evaporated milk. In Germany, we use this as a coffee creamer. However, it is a pretty good substitute for heavy cream because of the added sweetness. Alternatively, you can go with skimmed milk as well. It will work, however, it won't be as creamy as with evaporated milk. Next is cheddar cheese. I tend to use pre-shredded cheddar. However, I switched to using block cheese and the taste difference is quite big in my opinion. I'm gonna cut off 125 grams of cheddar, weigh it on a scale, and then just shred it myself on a box grater. However, if you want to use pre-shredded cheddar, that is totally fine as well. The second cheese that I'm adding is 50 grams of parmesan cheese. This will add a very nice saltiness to the cheese sauce, and parmesan is also packed with protein. It is quite high in calories, however, so please wait on a scale before grating it. These are the main ingredients for the sauce. However, they need one final but very important ingredient that will bring everything together, and it's 10 grams of cornstarch. You will see in just a second why this is so important. Cornstarch also lasts forever in the pantry, so it's always useful to have in your kitchen. So let's cook the macaroni by heating a pan of 28 centimeters or 11 inches. And yes, you can cook pasta in a pan and it works perfectly. Add 1,500 grams of water with 2 pinches of salt, and as soon as the water starts to simmer, add 300 grams of elbow macaroni weighed raw. You can also use other kinds of pasta, no problemo. So now let it simmer for 12 minutes, stirring occasionally until the pasta is almost cooked through with a little bit of a bite to it, also known as al dente. Once they are done, I'm gonna remove 2 ladle scoops of pasta water and add it to a container, then drain the rest of the water, add back the drained pasta to the pan, along with the pasta water, the evaporated milk, the cornstarch, and finally both of the cheeses. The stove is here still on medium heat, by the way. Now, as you keep mixing, you will see that everything is still quite watery in the beginning, which looks like way too much liquid. However, and this is where the cornstarch comes in clutch, once everything is heated up, the cornstarch will get activated and act as an emulsifier and turn this into a super creamy and gooey consistency. As you can see, everything is now thicker. This almost happens instantly as soon as the sauce is heated up. So, take the pan off the heat, prepare yourself 5 meal prep containers and distribute the mac and cheese evenly into all the containers. I'm gonna eyeball this for the recipe, 2 scoops per container, same with the chicken thighs. Finally, wait until everything stops steaming, then put the lid on top and store it in the fridge for up to 5 days or in the freezer for up to 3 months, and every serving comes in at 674 calories with 53 grams of protein. These types of recipes help me and over 10,000 people lose weight and keep it off. Why? Because I specifically make sure that they taste delicious, are filling and have great macros, and I created a cookbook with over 250 recipes like this one, from breakfast to lunch to dessert, pizza, burgers and cheesecake. You buy it once and you get all recipe updates for free. The link is in the description.